as new stories begin to come out and new developments are beginning to be made. The NBA is currently still looking for ways to get the season underway. And if things begin to shape out, Adam Silver may make a call around June 1st, letting teams know that they can begin to get players back in the facilities to train and warm up. And within the next 8 weeks, there's a possibility that we can see the NBA resume. It's a lot of locations that's being looked at, but it's pretty much almost been narrowed down to two, Las Vegas and Orlando. I'm imagining West Coast teams would all quarantine and play in Vegas. The East Coast teams will come here to Disney World, ESPN's Wild World of Sports in Orlando, and they would play in Orlando. Now, the one thing that there are a lot of things that are up in the air, first and foremost, but two of the things that are up in the air is just exactly how the season would resume. You have one thing on the table where they would dive directly into the playoffs, and then you have another format pretty much on the table where all NBA teams will return, and there would be 10 games remaining in the season. They would do some type of tournament for the teams seeded 15 to 7, and they would kind of shape out the playoffs like that. There's a lot of ifs, whiffs, and fifths right now as they still try to find ways to get things going. And as of right now, players definitely aren't all on the same page. You've heard the likes of LeBron James and a few of his Lakers teammates saying that they would love to play, that they're prepared to play and ready to go. Just earlier today, you had Houston Rockets star James Harden saying he would love to play, but he wants to get back on the court when things are actually safe. And right now, we don't know when that will actually be. Brandon, I'm gonna start with you on this topic right here, and I just want to get your opinion and find out, what do you think? Do you think the NBA is making a positive stride and looking to move forward, possibly in Orlando and Las Vegas, or is this once again just false hope in the NBA to go ahead and chalk the season?
So really, how are they going to do this? Because there are some teams, if you do come back, that are still fighting for playoff spots. You got New Orleans,
the Grizzlies,
Portland, the Grizzlies, all of them fighting for the AC, between the 7th and 8th seed. But then you also still have teams that had East Coast trips, because before all this happened, the Lakers were supposed to go on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you gonna do that? And the Lakers and Clippers were going on the East Coast on their last little East Coast trip. So are you gonna have those teams? Are you just going to go to those games and just play the rest of the West Coast matchups in the West Coast, or like how are they gonna plan to do that? Because if you're trying to finish out the season, you got to finish out the rest of the schedules. So you kind of can't just, all right, we're gonna, if you're supposed to go to the East Coast, we're gonna shelve that, and you just go play the rest of your Western Conference scheduling. So how are you gonna do that? That's
could definitely be a big conflict. Craig, let's get you in here and get your opinion on what could possibly go down. Because you two gentlemen actually were involved with the last game that went down this season at State Farm Arena. So Craig, do you think all of the NBA teams should return? Is it a good idea to see teams like our Atlanta Hawks and the Golden State Warriors, who do not have a chance at making the NBA playoffs, and actually making a legitimate run for a championship this year? Is it a good idea to have them back on the court, or should we just dive right into the playoffs?
I think we should just go into the playoffs. I think it would be, you're increasing the risk if you have more teams involved anyway. And then it was only maybe 12 games left for most teams. So I think in that situation, you should just go ahead and dive into the playoffs. We've already had a shortened season when we had the lockout season not too long ago, when the Heat won the championship against the Spurs. Yeah. So I think it's not an unprecedented situation in that sense. But it doesn't make sense to have the Hawks, the Wizards, the Warriors to have to go out there and play. You're making it harder for yourself to make it all work. Just go ahead and let teams practice and play for like scrimmage for maybe a week or two, and then just dive into the playoffs.
One thing that the NBA also has to think about, and that's why so many variables on the table right now, is the testing process. With testing still being scarce in America right now, with different states kind of getting their medical terms together on their own terms. The NBA would need over 15,000 tests, and you can kind of cut down on that, and chances of also someone coming into the facilities with the coronavirus if they narrow down the players that would actually be involved. So I agree as well. As much as I would love to see Trae Young and Cam Reddish get some more time on the court, I don't think it is smart to get them out there if they don't have a chance of actually competing for a championship. I think that does a disservice to fans, and it also does a disservice to players who have a legitimate opportunity to still compete. So it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. We'll keep you, ladies and gentlemen, in tune with what the NBA is going to do. But as of right now, things are winding down, and Adam Silver and the governors across the NBA are looking for ways to get things going within the next 2 weeks. And if that happens, once again, like I said, we probably still wouldn't get basketball until the end of July. How they're looking at it shaping up right now, it would be we wouldn't get basketball until the end of July because they would have to get players back into the cities where they play, quarantine them, and get them to be training and get them back in the physical condition. We would get basketball back in the end of July. The playoffs would be August and September. The draft would be towards the end of September, October. And then we would actually see basketball on a new schedule with the season kicking off right around Christmas, in December. So we'll keep you ladies and gentlemen.
I wouldn't have a problem with that at all.
No, it's a new day. One thing I do think is real. I heard somebody say people are talking about things getting back to normal. But they'll never be normal for how we knew things to be normal. To be a bunch of new norms as the world continues to keep spinning and move forward.